Hi, Lachlan and Emma. Thanks so much for being available today to talk about your experience with interviewing and securing a job through the Watford Partnership. Can you start by telling us a little bit about where you're studying at the moment and what you'll be qualified to teach at the end of the year?
Yeah, so I am studying a Bachelor of Science Education. So at the end of my degree, I'll be able to teach years 7 to 10 science and year 11 and 12 physics.
I'm also studying a Bachelor of Science Education. At the end of the year, I'll be able to also teach 7 to 10 science, and then year 11 and 12 biology, chemistry, and earth environmental science.
And you're both studying at the University of Wollongong?
Yes.
Brilliant. So what was your main motivation for teaching in the UK?
So the UK system is very similar to the Australian system. So I think it would be a good experience to gain a lot of professional development in a system that's very similar to ours. And then the travel aspect, the UK is close to lots of countries in Europe and that, so definitely the travel.
Yeah, definitely for me, the biggest one is like the experience, like Emma said. So yeah, England system's very similar, but still different enough that I can get different experiences in different schools and countries to try and build myself up as a teacher and then bring that back home.
Brilliant. So how did you find out about teaching and what made you decide to register with us?
So I found out about teaching just by Google search, and then the teaching website popped up and it just had great reviews, and the website was very cohesive and had a lot of information, and it sounded really intriguing.
I found out through teaching through Emma, who told me about it and her experience with it. And she spoke very highly of it and really was like, sounded like an amazing opportunity. So then that led me into go and register with them.
Yeah, so you both registered with myself and I walked you through the process. How did you find the registration process through us?
Yeah, I found it really supportive and really relaxed. So there was no pressure to lock in anything at any time. And there was always lots of support and lots of guidance, lots of information. You were very transparent about all of the different aspects of it. So I felt really supported throughout the whole process.
Yeah, it was very helpful having to be able to speak to you, Catherine. And when I got to register and do the whole process, you were able to explain it all to me. You knew what you were talking about, very knowledgeable. Like you'd have a lot of history with the program and the company, I assume, and knowing what I needed to do and what I was locked into and what the opportunities were helped me make my decision.
Well, that's great to hear. And I guess that makes you feel confident about heading over and taking the leap over to the UK. And the registration process, how did you find that? I know one of the unique features through teaching is the video interview. So you recorded yourselves with that. And how did you find the registration process and in that interview?
Yeah, so the interview I thought was really good, because I think as a teacher, a lot of our job and our role is interpersonal skills, and a lot of it is about our personality and how we articulate ourselves and our demeanor and things like that. And that's not always conveyed through a CV or a written interview type thing. So having the opportunity to portray myself and my personality through a video I found very helpful.
And just to add to that, the fact that it was like an online interview where we could record ourselves, we knew what the questions were in advance, and we had a chance to do it whenever we wanted to in our own time. It was very flexible, and being able to re-record any answers if we mess up or say something wrong just took away the stress from it and made it easier and more relaxing to register and join.
That's great to hear. Thanks, guys. And has the process been like in terms of the registration compliance documents and things like that? Is that clear what you need to do and how to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So all of the required documents that we were made to fill out, they were all given to us at appropriate times. So we weren't just thrown in the deep end and given them all at once. They were all staggered. The documents themselves were very clear on what we needed to include. And then you were all obviously there, Catherine, to answer emails. If we had questions on how we're supposed to fill out certain things, So it was really straightforward and yeah, no pressure at all.
Excellent.
Yeah, just to add on, it was definitely communicated really well, broken up into different emails to let us know what we needed to do and when we needed to do it, and providing us with the CV and the referees and stuff like that with a nice, easy template so we could just follow it without any hassles or having to ask what we needed to put in where. Just made the process just seamless for us.
Brilliant. And when you heard about the Reach Free School, walk me through that experience, what information you were given, and yeah, who the key people were that you were interacting with during that process.
Yeah, so we initially we got your email, Catherine, and that had a whole bunch of information on, I think it included the school website, it included the Ofsted report, a map of the area. I think that might be it. Lachlan might have something to add there. But so lots of information to give a clear idea of the school, and a bit of a personal testimonial as well into the school culture and how the staffing and the students are. We also then got in contact with Nav in the UK, who set up our interview and was sort of the in-between step between the communications that we had with the Reach Free School.
Yeah, I don't have too much more to add there, but just you guys gave us everything that we needed to know to look into the school, get to know it, and get to know if it reflected what we wanted to look for in a school and what we want to do when we went over there. And even just the transitions between talking to you, talking to Nav, and talking to the school was done well. You guys communicate with each other really well and all kind of linked us into the process. So we're all in the loop at all times.
Great. And then you would have received your Zoom link to complete a video interview and connect direct to the school. Walk me through how you found the interview process, and what were your thoughts on the way the UK head teacher conducted the interview?
Yeah, so the Zoom itself, prior to the interview, we got given the UK time and the Australian time to eliminate confusion there, and we're asked to confirm the times that we understand that when we're supposed to be on the Zoom, which was really handy. And then in terms of the interview itself, it was a really good mix of a professional interview, but with a relaxed sort of conversational feel. So the head teacher was sort of set the tone of the school and the interview just by how he spoke to us and how he spoke to the head teacher of science as well. It just gave a really good reflection of the school.
Yeah, and just when we were organising the interview with the school, like Emma said, there was a bit of back and forth emailing to book in a time for the Zoom interview, which was very handy to have that notice, especially an international Zoom call, so we could find a time that worked well for us and for the school. And when we had that interview with the head teacher, Richard, he was kept to the professional questions and the seriousness of the interview, whilst that conversational, relaxed atmosphere to take away a bit of the pressure and took away a bit of stress for me, so I knew I could open up a bit more and explain, answer questions, and kind of just get to know them as a school and as like a faculty.
That's great. It sounds like it was a really pleasant experience, which isn't always the case when you're having interviews. And after the interview, when were you made the offer, and when were you provided with your letters of offer or contracts?
Yeah, so we had our interview on a Tuesday evening, and we had the offer, we got the call with the offer on Thursday evening. And then once we had confirmed over the phone, the contract got sent that same night. So it all happened really, really quickly.
Yeah, don't really have much else to add there. I was the same as Emma in this situation.
Yeah, fantastic. And how do you feel now that you've got a job secured 6 months ahead of your intended arrival?
Oh, it's so relieving and takes off so much of the pressure, because we can then be planning all of the other little things that you need to consider when you move overseas. So we can start looking at accommodation. We've got plenty of time to apply for our visa without stress, especially at the moment with delays because of COVID and other things. It's really good to be able to start these things early and really consider a lot of the different aspects that we need to consider before it gets too late.
Yeah, it's definitely great to have that security of like locking in a job offer and an opportunity well in advance to give us that time to plan everything, rather than if we're starting to think about trying to plan a trip overseas where we didn't know exactly what school we're at or when we're going or whatnot. So just giving us like a 6-month window makes it a lot simpler and easier to transition.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a security now that you can plan and organise and be ready to roll in January. So would you recommend the process and teach into other prospective teachers?
Oh, absolutely. It was just a real seamless process. And when I was first considering doing some work in the UK, I did look at a few other companies, and this one definitely stood out in terms of the support that you get, the communication that you have. You just have constant communication, always open to answering my questions. It's just made the whole process really reassuring and really easy, really.
Yeah, I don't think I could fault teaching or the whole process at all, really. Like, you guys were always there to, answer questions and quickly. I didn't even have to wait too often for anything. All the information documents you provided, instructions, they're all pretty clear. Never really gave me any confusion or anything. And I've already recommended teaching as a service to some of my other friends, and would recommend it to anyone else that was looking to do this process and go overseas.
Well, it's been fantastic working with you both as well. So how would you rate us out of 10 so far?
Oh, absolutely a full 10. It's been the best experience, and we haven't even gone overseas yet.
Yeah, I have to agree there. 10 out of 10 for me so far. Nothing I can say that would bring it down or fault you guys.
Well, thank you so much, and looking forward to helping you over the next 6 months to get organised and start your UK teaching experience at the Reach Free School.
Yeah, can't wait. Thank you.